Sawadee krap, welcome back to Cooking with Ken. I'm sorry for the delay. We had some recording issues and we got some excellent news from Canada Immigration. My wife Tanya and my daughter Pop, they're finally allowed to come home. So all of you watching this today, sharing this, and telling everyone else about this channel is going to help that happen all that much faster. Your Thai phrase for today is Sawadee mai krap for men or Sawadee mai ka for women. The question asks, are you well? The quick answer to this is Sawadee, which means you are well. Now, it's almost the same phrase, but adding mai to the end of it turned the first part into a question. Today in the kitchen, I did promise everyone some desserts, so today we're going to be making a no-bake, cursed chocolate dragon's blood cheesecake. Now, everyone seems to enjoy this, dairy lovers and non-dairy lovers alike, so let's get off to the kitchen. The instructions are a bit long, but you'll really enjoy this. Today we're going to be making cheesecake. For this recipe we have our mixer, we have some dragon fruit or gao mangon in Thai, some sugar, which is also sugar in Thai, some bowls, sour cream, which is priyao cream in Thai, some eggs, which are kai in Thai, some butter, which is nue in Thai, spatula, gelatin, which is un in Thai, some cream cheese, which is still cream cheese in Thai, some chocolate, which is chocolate in Thai, graham crumbs, cranberries, which are cranberry in Thai, some vanilla extract and some almond extract, a fork. We're going to need some extra cream cheese for this one, and also we have our whipping cream or whipped cream in Thai and some springform pans. It's got a couple of stages to it. This is a no-bake recipe, so it's very easy. There's a little bit of heat required, but it's pretty quick. Let's get going. I'm sure you'll enjoy this. Okay, here we are. First step, we have to make our crust. So we've switched out from the honey graham crackers to the Oreo version with the chocolate cake without a chocolate crust. We've got 6 to 8 round teaspoons of sugar, and we also have our butter. It's approximately 125 milliliters of butter, or a quarter stick if you're just looking at the measurement on the butter. Now we're going to melt the butter for approximately 2.5 to 3 minutes, and we're going to mix the sugar in with the graham crackers. Okay, here we go. Off to the microwave. Back from the microwave. I did neglect to mention that you want to do this on low heat. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our butter or our nue and we're going to pour it into our graham crackers. And you're going to mix this in. It's maybe a little difficult to see, but the entire mixture has a light sheen to it. This will make it pack very nicely. Okay, here we go. We're going to get our springform pan ready and we're going to pack this in. We're going to take our graham cracker crumbs, pour it into the pan. Spread this out, make sure you get an even coat. You can use a baggie or you can use saran wrap, but I prefer to use this method to pack it down. Is you just press it down lightly with your hand, or you can tamp it down with a fork. One crust, all ready to go. Next step. Next thing we're going to have to do, we're going to have to mix up our cranberries and dragon fruit. This is going to make up the dragon blood portion of our cheesecake. Cranberries, approximately 700 milliliters or almost 3 cups. Our dragon fruit, really easy to cut it in half. Looks awesome inside. And these are really easy to peel. All you need to do is you can cut it all the way through and then just peel it off, or you can just cut part way through. And all you have to do, peel off the skin, just like so. Try not to let too much of it stick to it. And we're going to mix that in with the cranberries. We've got all that together. This might be a little bit messy. What we're going to do is we're going to take our mixer and we're going to grind all this together. That's the easy part. The next thing we're going to have to do is, you may notice it's a little bit watery to use. What we're going to do is we're going to boil it a little just to get some of the excess water out of it. Okay, we're on to the next step. We're making the first half of our base for our cheesecake. We're going to need a bowl, 3 eggs. Now what we're going to do is we're going to separate the yolks out of these. So first things first, our garbage handy by. Crack your egg. Separating yolks is pretty easy. There are fancy tools for this, but the old-fashioned way still works. Do one side to the other. Now we have our eggs. We're going to add our sugar. It's approximately 1.5 cups. Next, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of almond, followed by 1 teaspoon of our vanilla extract. Next, we're going to mix this up. You can use a fork or you can use a blender. Alright, well, the curse is still active. My battery died at 80% power. This takes about 15 minutes to mix by hand, faster with the blender. You're going to need the blender for this next part. We're going to be adding our sour cream, our pre-au cream. It's 2 cups, so approximately 500 milliliters, and 500 milliliters. You're going to spoon this in, and then we're going to mix this together until it's a smooth and creamy mixture. On to the next step. Okay, after you've made that nice and creamy, next thing you're going to do, add your cream cheese. What's a cheesecake without it? Now this cream cheese should be approximately room temperature. You shouldn't have left it in the fridge this whole time. When that's finished, it should be fairly smooth, maybe an occasional chunk in there, but it should be fairly smooth and evenly mixed. Next step, chilled bowl. You're going to take 500 milliliters of whipping cream. And what you're going to do is you're going to whip this until it's light and frothy, because we're going to be mixing this into the other mixture. The next thing we have to do, we take our 3 packs of gelatin, or nun, song, sam. We're going to place them into the cold water. We're going to give this a quick stir, and then we're going to let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes. Take our original mixture, a spatula, and our whipped cream. What we're going to do is we're going to fold it into the original mixture. So we're going to fold it in. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach under and over, under and over. We're going to do this until it's got a uniform consistency. Okay, we've microwaved our gelatin about 2 to 3 minutes. Other than the little bit of froth on top, it's very clear inside. Next thing's next, chocolate cake. What's a chocolate cake without chocolate? We've heated this up and melted it. Let it cool just a little bit, because if we leave it too hot, it's going to ruin the mixture. Add that. Don't lose any of it. Chocolate's very valuable. Now I like to mix this in a little bit first before adding the gelatin, because the gelatin will make it set up pretty quick. You can use a blender or you can hand mix this. And after you've thoroughly mixed this, cleaned up your edges a little, you should end up with a fairly chocolatey looking mixture. What you're going to do is carefully, in the middle, add your gelatin. And you're going to mix this in. Now you can use a blender or you can hand mix. Now that we've got our base ready, we can go turn this into an actual cake. Dragon's blood and all. Okay, we're back. We have our previous guest, the crust. Now I don't like having to run a knife around these, so what I usually do is I will put a little bit of parchment paper around the edges. They conveniently come in this size once you cut them. What you can do, take your batter, and you can slowly pour and or use your spatula and slowly add it in.
You're going to want to fill this a little over a third, and then we're going to add our dragon's blood. Now, when you're adding your dragon's blood, you can either use a spoon, a fork, or a spatula. Myself, I find using a spoon is a little bit easier for me. Now, the consistency should be slightly runny. It won't be jam. And all you're going to do is you can make a ring, or you can make some kind of pattern, whatever really floats your boat. You do want to make sure that this is cold when you add it, otherwise what it will do is it will melt right through your cheesecake. And continue to add a topping layer, like so. If you find that it's displacing easily, perhaps it's not quite cold enough, what you can do is you can take another spoon and you can fill the edges securely hidden in your dragon's blood. If you're a little worried you might pop some out, add a little extra and just smooth. Now when you go to serve this, you can add additional toppings, however you do have that little fruit surprise in the middle there. Now that you've finished your fierce battle with the dragon already, now what you need to do is put this in the fridge for about 6 hours just to let it set. Here we are, all set up. This is why I like putting the parchment paper on, because right off. And all you have to do is find the edge. Like what you see? Is your mouth watering? Would you like to see more? Like, subscribe, comment, and share.